22, 23, boom. From 423 to 409, that's a significant drop. And take a look at short positions, 90, 95, 106. So increasing short positions and closing long positions. How's it going, fellow traders? It's Magic Trader here, and this is your exclusive CFTC report data for the positions held by the institutions as of June 14, 2022. Here's a brief snapshot of the positions held by the institutions as of that date. And so let's begin by examining gold. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. Make sure you like and subscribe as you have been. If you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe to it and set your notifications on so that you can get all the future videos that we send out. Gold, look at gold here, okay? So we've been talking about how the institutions have been taking profits on their long positions, and we can see that all throughout here. A big increase in long positions right through here, and then they closed them off. Now, if you take a look at the latest set of positions, what do we see here? They bumped them up to 107. That was back May 18, okay? May 17, 18. They bumped them up, which we end up seeing an increase in price. And then afterwards, they closed them 98, 96, 95, and then recently again, a bump up in price. Overall, they are reducing their long exposure, okay? Because if you take a look at longs back in March, they were at 82% of their overall exposure, okay? And that's just been declining ever since. We're at 70% right now. You look at net positions, you'd say, well, they're still very positive. Yeah, they are positive, 154,000, okay? But let's take a look at something here. This is their average size position on shorts. We're well above it at 111. This is their average size position on long, and we're well below that here. So what does that tell you? It's telling you that there is a momentum that is shifting on their positions. Now, we've been saying that we're expecting price to drop, and we've been expressing that for quite some time. So we had our arrows here, which was pointing out for a drop down to here. And on the higher time frame, we have further arrows right here, which is indicating that we expect price to drop like that. Now, if you look at the positions held by the institutions, the positions held by the retail traders, what you've been able to see is that they've been going back and forth, okay? First, they were lured into getting long here, and then they were lured into getting short here, and the latest thing, they were lured into getting long up here at these highs, right before the institutions turned price to the downside. So what's to come? We suspect more downside is coming in the weeks and months to come. It'll take some time, but we do believe that that's what's taking place. Okay, oil, take a look at oil. Look at the long positions dropping 415, 22, 23, boom. From 423 to 409, that's a significant drop. And take a look at short positions, 90, 95, 106. So increasing short positions and closing long positions. Now, if you've been following our videos that we've been doing during the week, they're about 45 minutes long or so. We try to keep it around there. Watch the video, the latest one, if you haven't. We'll put a link at the end of this video to it because it has some good information there with respect to what could very well happen with oil over the very long term. Okay, we've been watching for this move to the downside. We've been expecting this move to the downside. It took place. And on the lower time frames, there's a very specific area that we're watching for price to drop into. And we are just so close to hitting that area. But it will signal something to come in oil. So if you haven't watched the video, make sure you watch it. Okay? So we do expect more downside is coming. All right. I think the odds of more downside is pretty high, probably around 60%, 65%. But if that one specific thing happens on the lower time frame charts, as we are expecting, then the odds of price dropping over the very long term will increase dramatically. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the dollar. So what do we see with the dollar? We see an increase in long positions, 49, 53, 54, 55, slight drop. Okay? But if you look at short positions, 17, 15, 17, 17, big drop, 8,657. Now remember, there was contracts expiring, okay? So sometimes what happens when they have their contracts expiring, they need to get out of their positions, and they're not opening up all the positions that they want in time for when they have to submit their positions for CFTC. So yes, we see a big drop in short positions, but that might not be the full size of short positions that they want. They may have just been a little bit late to open up the rest of the short positions that they want. Okay? But nonetheless, what we're seeing here is very strong long side and somewhat weak short side. And you look at the long positions, right? The maximum size, 97. You look at the 13-period average, 49,000. We're 53. We're above it. So there hasn't been any shift of momentum, just like what we were seeing in gold. All right, so we are waiting for the signals. Aussie, big drop in price. What do we see with positions? 81, 79, 74, closing their short positions. And not much going on with long. Shorts have always been the main driving factor here with the Aussie. Increasing them, closing them, increasing them, closing them. They've done quite well with the increasing of the short positions and then closing them afterwards. So right now we have price dropping and was unable to close below the previous low. And we see a slight rally up in price here on the weekly chart, which is very pronounced on the lower time frame charts. So we do suspect that over time, price will eventually make its way lower. But at this time, it's hard to say if it's going to kick in right at this point, simply because of what we're seeing on the dollar and the euro chart as well. USCAD, very aggressive with their shorts. Holy moly, look at that. 30, 39, 56 on the short side. Big increase in short positions as price was rallying up. And again, we see long positions 40 down to 33,000. Contracts were expiring. So is 33,000 their final position? Who knows? Very difficult to say. Bottom line, we are at supply. And remember what we were looking at with the dollar. Okay, with price making a new high, not closing above the previous high. And let's go back and show you something. We passed it right there. Taking profits on long positions. Okay. A decrease in short positions, but we don't know if this is their final resting place with their positions. And we have not yet received a close above this area here on the weekly chart. Okay, it's the same thing on the euro as well. So that indicates to me that there could be a pause and a drop in price. Okay, so we're at supply here on the USCAD. So we could see this facilitate some type of move to the downside. Okay, it's a waiting game right now. So we're waiting to see how it's going to play out. At the same time, US Swiss monthly chart, we have supply in play as well. Okay, weekly chart as well. You can see the push to the downside, coming back up, and again back to the downside. Each thrust up, the force momentum gets more tired, which allows for a drop in price. And we look at their positions, big closure of long positions, but again, that could be related to contracts expiring, so I wouldn't put much weight on that. Euro US dollar. Remember what I was pointing out with the dollar? Same thing here. Look here, okay? Price dropped, unable to close below. That's a weak sign. We also spoke about what was taking place here at this weekly area of supply on the lower time frame charts and how it indicated to us that momentum to the downside was very weak. So what are they doing with their positions? Again, contracts expired, but we see a big drop in longs, 230 to 206. Does that mean they're not interested in increasing price? Well, that's a possibility. Take a look at shorts. 184, 179, boom, 213,000. That's a big increase, all right? And so if you look at net positions, you will see that we went from positive into the negatives, negative 6,000. Short exposure is 51% at this point. So there's still about 50-50, but this is aggressive because, you know, short positions 213, that's well above their average of 194, okay? Well above their average of 194. And if you look at long positions, 206, they're below their average, okay? Below their average of 2,000 or 220,000. So shorts are the more aggressive bias right now. Okay? I would say shorts are the more aggressive position. So the bias is to the downside, but the lack of closing below indicates to me that we could see some upside to come in the short term. Pound US dollar, this one's a different story. This one moved quite dramatically down, but again, pulled right back up, and it's been very clear with positions which side the institutions have been on. They're on the short side. But lately, 105, 106, 104, 105, boom, 94,000. They closed a major portion of their short positions as price was making this move to the downside. So closing short positions for profits, not bad, not bad. So we'll keep an eye on this and see how it plays out. US dollar, Japanese yen, very aggressive with long positions. Big increase in price, as we can see. 109, 110, 102,000. So they recently took some profits on their long positions, and then a big increase in short positions. 16, 15, 18, 32. Now, remember what we were looking at when it came to the dollar pairs? A lot of supply is in play. A lot of pressure to pause price and potentially push it down. And then we see them taking profits on long positions and adding to their shorts. Coincidence? Maybe. We'll see in the coming weeks. Last but not least, the Kiwi. What do we see here? Increase in longs from 12 to 14 as price was declining. And closing off some short positions, reducing them from 32 to 21,000. Coloration of the cells is blue, so it's neutral. 59% of their overall exposure is to the downside. But again, sentiment is neutral, not much to go on here. We should also remember that demand has come into play. So remember how we were speculating? There could be a push to the upside. This demand could really help thrust this one to the upside if it chose to. All right, ladies and gents, that is it. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, hit the notification, and you'll always get notified whenever we come out with new analysis. If you want more information, www.whiteoakfx.com. Thanks. We'll see you during the week. Take care.